Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Destination Truth. And unfortunately, I have another Trayvon Martin case. Again, I live in the Bay Area, and I saw a article not long ago that was quite saddening. Um, so this is actually a week old, but yeah. So if you don't know, Stephon Clark, young man here. Look at this. There's a guy with a shirt already for him. He was shot in his backyard, Stephon Clark. And it wasn't his backyard, turns out, even though a news agency said it was his backyard. I'm going to try to find some of these original articles because I know how falsified they are. Sorry. Let's see. What did they say today? So again, I'm not necessarily against Black Lives Matter with its stated goals, but its actual goals are mostly just facilitating socialist and communist beliefs, giving privileged class to African Americans, and shaming a bunch of people, and also asking to basically stop obeying the law. I'm going to go ahead and just start stating what really happened because I've learned that it's another Trayvon Martin case. I mean, the stated story from major news outlets isn't the truth. They said a young man shot in his own backyard, was unarmed, and shot 20 times. What you're about to see is footage from the helicopter as well as a body cam of the two officers that did shoot him. And it turns out what happened was a man had called 911 because a man was running down the street looking at cars and had broken into two cars already that night. What you're looking at is the Stephon Clark individual who's going over backyard fences. An innocent man does not hop over backyard fences. I am obviously convinced that this man is not innocent, for one. For two, he is looking at yet another vehicle's back window. This is an officer storming in now. Listen.
Hey! Show me your hands! Stop! Stop!
He runs.
Show me your gun!
He said gun.
Show me your hands! Gun!
Shots fired, shots fired. Copy, shots fired.
There it is right there. I'm going to mute the sound and just tell you the rest, but obviously they just shot him 20 times. If you didn't see that in the corner there, it said the number of shots fired. So the man had been sneaking around, breaking into cars at night. Someone called 911, and the police did this. So at least it wasn't another individual, some community leader or what do you call it, a community watch person who wasn't white in the Trayvon Martin case, but they wanted you to think he was, of course. Anyways, so they still haven't advanced, and they're just talking. And you can find this footage as a YouTube video. They released it to be fully open to the public about what happened. And sorry, everyone. I don't care who you are, but if the police identify themselves, you don't run into a black hidden place with a black hoodie on and hide. It's just not a good way to try to survive. Are we really at the point where we need to start teaching African Americans, namely, that running from the police gets you killed? I mean, is that where we're at? Do we have to make classes? Do we have to literally have classes or something? I don't really know, but this Stephon Clark, unfortunately, was not innocent. He was breaking the law. He was stealing. And what you see here is police trying to stop him and him resisting arrest by running away into a dark place. Obviously, they don't know if he has a gun. He's doing a criminal activity, which is verified now because in the beginning of the video and other videos you'll find, you'll hear the part about why the police were there. They were looking for him. He had a cell phone, not a gun. Unfortunately, he is holding it in his hand. You'll see the cell phone laying next to where his hand was. There it is. So he is holding his cell phone. White in the dark was mistaken for gunmetal, I guess. But I'm sorry, guys. This is another mainstream media lie. Oh, I'm not willing to watch TYT. They are mainstream propaganda. Let's hear what this guy has to say. I bet he's obviously trying to paint this the way the mainstream media wants it to be. What's he going to say?
All right, the Sacramento community is outraged after the death of Stephon Clark, a 22-year-old unarmed black man who was shot and killed by police in his grandmother's backyard last weekend. Hundreds swarmed downtown Sacramento yesterday in protest.
And this is some of the video from that protest. Police did release video of the incident that happened this week. And I just want to give you a heads up. The video is disturbing. According to officials, the two officers involved, and here it is, as they were going to that backyard, they fired 20 rounds at Clark. They believed he was pointing a gun. The only thing that they recovered, however, at the scene was a cell phone, and the incident is, we know, under investigation.
Joining us now is Stephon Clark's brother. Thank you for speaking with us, and of course, our condolence.
The whole world gets to see you, and you choose to dress up like a Confederate, or maybe he's a Union officer. I don't understand why is he dressing like that.
This is to you and your family. Stephon, when you first saw this video, what went through your mind? What did you feel and think?
He hasn't processed it. It's raw.
I felt like when I seen the video.
Yes.
Is that
yes.
what you said?
Yes. The body cam video.
I never watched the video. I've never seen the video. I've never watched it on the news. I've never turned it on. Whenever I see it, people put it in their songs and in their clips and they share it. I never watched the video. I don't want to see that video. Never, ever, ever.
Tell me about your brother, Stephon.
He was hilarious. He was, he was a hustler. He had to go get it by any means necessary. You know what I mean?
Point proven,
he loved his children. He loved his children. He was a great.
He's a dad. He was a dad. Oh man, he was looking for an extra buck. You know, it's sad. The saddest thing about this is that, in all honesty, I don't really blame him for what he did, but not understanding that you can't run from the cops. This is just another lesson, guys. Like, he wasn't innocent. And the fact that he was in his grandmother's backyard, honestly, the fact that he was looking into her car like that makes me wonder if he was trying to steal from his own daggum grandmother, which is just beyond reproach. It is deeply saddening. Anyways, the rest of this video is just emotional. CNN just wants you to have those emotions running. They don't want you to be using your head, as you'd expect. And that's how a lot of socialist and communist propaganda is pushed, through pulling on your heartstrings and not your logic. And this guy wasn't innocent, guys. Sorry. If you want to be okay with people breaking into cars and not having any laws to stop it, then that's on you. But I would never be okay with that. And if the man resisted arrest, I'm sorry. You gotta learn. You gotta learn. Everyone, please learn from this. And if you're involved in criminal activity, learn that the only real way you can stop from getting killed by police is not resisting. Put out your hands, show them your hands, and state that I'm unarmed. That's it. Anyways, guys, I think this is a sad learning experience, but I think it's a needed one. This is the truth of the situation. Unfortunately, Stephon Clark was a hustler, and he needed some money, and he was looking for it in people's cars. And unfortunately, when you break rules, you don't get to choose the consequences, and that's something I learned at a young age, and I wish everyone else would too, because it is about damn time. This is Destination Truth. Have a good night.